Now, from the station you count on, this is KARK 4 News with your forecast first.
Tragedy strikes the natural state. Severe weather kills at least 3 people. Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen. Jessica has the evening off. We're going to sort out all the damage in just a minute. But first, I'm joined by Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan with a look not much as what we went through, but what we're going to go through. What's next?
A lot of people obviously very curious about what is next for severe weather across Arkansas. The good news is, looking at radar right now, we don't have anything threatening the state at this point. There is some severe weather that is occurring over portions of central and northeastern Oklahoma out into extreme southeast Kansas and further north into Missouri. There are numerous tornado warnings out. For the evening hours, it looks like it's going to be mainly quiet, but a little bit later on tonight, there will be a slight risk of severe thunderstorms across primarily the northwest third of Arkansas, roughly from DeQueen to Little Rock out to Jonesboro and points north and west. Now, the highest risk of severe weather overnight tonight, obviously, the closer you are to where those thunderstorms are, which we'd be putting it in northwest Arkansas, but wouldn't rule out an isolated strong or severe thunderstorm across central Arkansas later on tonight. But the storms overall should be in a weakening phase as that first batch gets here a little bit later on, and they'll be more isolated to scattered. Now, during the day tomorrow, as the front itself finally begins swinging through the central United States, through the Mid-South, we do see a severe weather risk for large hail and damaging winds, even an isolated tornado possible, although the main threats will be large hail and damaging winds for most of Arkansas. We've also seen an incredible amount of rain. Take a look at how much rain has fallen across the state. The key is up at the top. The brown areas indicate where at least 3 inches has fallen. The red areas indicate where at least 6 inches have fallen. Very heavy rain across portions of Scott, down into Polk County as well as Montgomery County, in and around Garland County, and on even into western parts of Pulaski County. And with additional heavy rainfall likely in some places tomorrow, there is a flash flood watch out for all of central and northern Arkansas through tomorrow evening. But for the overnight hours, just a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, Bob, and it looks like those rain chances going up as we head into the day tomorrow.
So there is some calm.
There is some calm right now, that is for sure.
And we certainly know how deadly tornadoes, high winds, lightning, things like that can be, but the #1 weather killer, we know time and time again, of course, is the flooding out there.
And that's something we've been concerned about and we started talking about earlier in the week. A lot of folks are outdoors right now.
That's right.
Enjoying Arkansas. You've got to be very alert, especially this weekend with ground saturated. It won't take much to cause renewed flooding.
And evidence of how dangerous and how lethal flooding can be. 3 people dead. That number could rise. Flash flooding caused 2 deaths in Scott County, where a woman was found in her car this morning. And Scott County Sheriff Cody Carpenter died while trying to rescue a family near Y-City last night. Also, Arkansas Game and Fish Warden Joel Campora assisting the sheriff in those high waters. He is among the missing. Another weather-related death occurred last night when a tree came down on a car. A man was inside, killing him. And we have crews all over Arkansas gathering the very latest on all the storm damage and all the storm reports coming in. We begin our team coverage with KRK4's Jocelyn Tobar. She is live in Scott County, where the search for those 3 missing people has been suspended, Keith, we understand, for the evening.
That's absolutely right, Bob. It has been suspended for this evening. Unfortunately, the flooding did cause the lives of 2 people, including, as you mentioned, Scott County Sheriff Cody Carpenter, who's being remembered today as the type of person who would risk his life for someone else's, being a big part of this community here. And it's a community that says they were prepared for things like this. Tornadoes, fires, they've seen it all. But no one saw this flooding coming. The weather is clear now, but Parks Grocery, just 4 miles east of Y-City, just opened for business after flooding like no one's ever seen forced them to shut their doors. Lavita Bahanam knows everyone who comes through these doors.
Tell her she can't get to her mama's house from either direction.
Everyone, including Sheriff Cody Carpenter, who she says she watched grow up in this very community and was always there to help others.
They were there to help. And they do that every day, you know, and it's tragic.
Sheriff Carpenter was killed tragically by these waters. The Fouche Lafay rose so high overnight, it covered Highway 28, over 20 feet in under 24 hours. There was no time to prepare.
This come on us very unexpected.
Now, for the most part, it's just been a beautiful day out here. There hasn't been any type of a rain, but we are expecting storms to come this way. And KRK4's meteorologist Greg D tweeted a photo of a graph showing the levels of the Fouche-Lafay River already near the record high for flood stages right now. So any type of rain really could push that over again, like we saw last night. And we spoke to many people who just simply aren't risking it. They're evacuating, getting all their stuff and getting out of here. Something we definitely recommend if you're in one of those areas that are prone to this flooding. Now, we're going to be out here live for you on KRK News at 10. For now, we'll send it back to you in Little Rock. Jocelyn Tovar for KRK4 News.
All right, Jocelyn, thanks very much. Clearly, this weather event not over. Take a look at this. Some of the first images of yesterday's tornado outbreak came from Garland County. This spectacular video over Lake Ouachita. Look at that. KRK4's David Goins shows us once over land, this water spout turned likely tornado, turned people's lives upside down in seconds.
The quiet rural life of Nubbin Ridge Road replaced with damage everywhere you look. Aluminum siding and trees, a mobile home obliterated.
Believe it or not, I was kind of in disbelief when I saw it forming that that's exactly what it was, you know.
Michael Loy found himself moving quickly from the mobile home and into his home. He's in the process of remodeling.
When I saw the cone form, the tip just on the other side of the barn was getting close to the ground. Then immediately after that is when the wind picked up everywhere instantly.
I just heard that like this, and then it started banging, didn't it?
Down the road, Patricia Von Cannon lost her sunroom, but not her family, which extends beyond people.
And just before the storm's peak, sensing something wasn't right, Patricia grabbed her dogs, got them inside from this pen. It's a good thing because the pen itself, well, it's attached and wrapped around this now out of power electric pole. But from talking with folks involved in this storm, the one word, really the sentiment, the refrain you'll hear over and over again, thankful.
This is nothing compared to them in Oklahoma.
It's been pretty overwhelming amount of support and help we've been given.
And that support from friends, family, and other neighbors will lead the rebuild effort. In Garland County, David Goins, KARK4 News.
David Goins keeping an eye on things in Garland County for us. Folks in Perna and Saline County had a rough go over Thursday night. Take a look. The roof ripped off the Buffalo Jesus Name Church. Sound equipment inside destroyed. Metal strewn just about everywhere. A camper toppled over. Front of us, bus smashed in by a tree. But thankfully, Pastor Andrew Justice and his family made it through the storm.
I could hear it going, and all I could do is say, Lord, you keep us safe. That's about how much time I had.
A neighbor living just a few yards behind the Justice family trying to gather what they can. People say Nina Robinson didn't even know stopped by to help her out. The Office of Emergency Management says it's waiting now on the Weather Service to determine if this was indeed a tornado. A possible tornado leaving damage behind in Clark County. KRK4's Marcy Manley has more on a mother and her two children who survived the storm inside their mobile home as the severe weather rolled through.
The man who owns this property tells us that a young mother who was 8 months pregnant and her two young children were actually inside this home when the storm hit. They believe it flipped at least once, but everyone's walking away alive.
Just absolutely just rolled it.
On Friday, Tim Eford takes stock of the mobile home toppled by severe storms the night before.
So one bathroom would have been right in here in the in this area.
The mobile home now sits in shambles, but somehow no lives were lost. A mother who is 8 months pregnant, along with her 3- and 5-year-old kids, sought shelter in their bathtub as wind and rain battered Clark County.
I've cleaned up behind several tornadoes, and very seldom I see one that actually rolls without completely flattening. If it had flattened, it'd probably been a lot worse.
According to Eford, the Singleton family had already lost a home to tragedy.
About 4 months ago, their house burnt down. So they've only been living here about 3 months.
Despite the damage to this home, the children walked away with minor injuries, we're told, and the mother is being monitored at a local hospital to make sure she's all right as well. Reporting from Clark County, I'm Marcy Manley for KARK4 News.
And power crews have been out all day working to restore power to thousands of folks without. The entire city of Maumelle dealing with an outage there. This was the scene earlier near Tanning Road and Highway 365. You can see crews changing out poles and replacing a wire there. Last night's storm knocked down several trees and power lines throughout central Arkansas. And today, Governor Mike Beebe declaring 6 counties disaster areas due to the damage caused by tornadoes, strong storms, and flooding. Our website, we have posted a number of things, including that news conference from Scott County, plus a complete list of storm reports from Thursday night and Friday morning. Go to ArkansasMatters.com for all the latest on this and other news. The UCA Bears in Mississippi tonight for the NCAA Regional Tournament. Changing gears up here a little bit. It's their first time ever in this tournament. Well, will they walk away victorious? We will have a full report coming up.
After last night's dangerous weather, a quiet day today across Arkansas, but it was a hot and humid one in Little Rock. 88 this afternoon, 72 was the morning low. Record-breaking rainfall in Little Rock and a lot of places across Arkansas yesterday. More heavy rain possible, as well as the threat of severe weather. We'll have all the details in just a few minutes.
This is KARK 4 News at 6 in high definition with Bob Clausen, Jessica Dean, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Aaron Peters with your Razorback Nation report.